everybody, and welcome to another fun-filled and exciting episode of Andrew Rants, the video series where I stand upon my metaphorical soapbox pedestal of the world and I bitch and complain about stuff that annoys me, bothers me, pisses me off, and just drives me up a goddamn tree. It's not often that I come out here and I bitch about something that really pisses me off, or mostly one of the big three networks from my childhood. Yes, I know. I've already taken Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon to the cleaners. Hell, it's a constant back and forth. They do something stupid, I rant about it. Then they do something else stupid, and I'm right back here again. It's like they tag team me. The minute I'm done with one, the other one jumps in, and vice versa. All the while, this looming threat has constantly stayed off into the distance, watching, observing, waiting for the opportunity to strike and pounce. Well, I'm not giving it the chance this time. Since both of the combatants are currently down with my foot permanently up their ass, I think it's time I finally go one step further and challenge it to a battle one-on-one, mano-a-mano, to see which one's better, and voice my opinions on what pisses me off about it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the video that you've all been waiting for, where I bitch and complain about Disney, or more specifically, the Disney Channel. Now, here's the thing that I have with Disney. They are a unique type of evil. And I mean a unique type of evil in general. I mean, you have Disney World, Disneyland, high-priced theme parks, a magnitude of a monopoly and an enterprise that basically just owns everything it could possibly get its hands on. Still, it means nothing to me. Like the stink bugs that annoy me every season that fly around my room, Disney's constant annoyance will always drive me insane. But today, oh no, today I'm finally going to be calling it out on its bullshit. Now, what bothers me about Disney? Besides the fact that it was one of the three networks that I watched as a kid. Well, because it wasn't exactly one of my networks when I was a kid. It only came around when I was somewhat in elementary school. Let me explain. When I was a kid, I would watch Cartoon Network, and I would watch Nickelodeon. I would also watch Fox, because I liked watching Power Rangers, and that was the only channel that ever had it on. It was a classic Saturday morning thing for me. I would watch Power Rangers on Fox, and whatever else they limped to the barn with. During the week, I would watch Fox Kids' weekday lineup to watch Power Rangers and Big Bad Beetleborgs. And then I would sashay over to Cartoon Network, and occasionally double back over to Fox for The Simpsons, before sashaying back over to Nickelodeon for Doug and Rugrats and Hey Arnold, just to finish out my night. Hell, when I was a kid in school, I remember so fondly watching Doug at 7 o'clock, Rugrats at 7:30, and then whatever program they had on for that night of the week at 8. Hey Arnold was usually like on a Monday night, and so on and so forth down the road. And I've never really had much of an issue with that. Those are fond memories of my childhood that nothing they could do could ever really take them away. Cartoon Network can screw themselves over by wanting more Teen Titans Go and completely massacring the classic Thundercats series. And Nickelodeon can just flush everything good about their channel straight down to hell with SpongeBob goddamn SquarePants. But me, on the other hand, I will always hold the moments from my childhood in close proximity to themselves. Disney Channel, on the other hand, can bite me. I remember watching Disney as a free preview weekend half a dozen times growing up. Why? Because Disney wanted that sweet, sweet cheddar. They wanted that cabbage, the greenbacks, the dineros. And they were basically you need to pay to get us. Until a bunch of people complained to the cable companies, and then the cable companies bowed to the people. See? Complaining works from time to time. Not all the time, but some of the times. So what exactly were, and I want to say this so wonderfully here. Well, you had a massacre of problems, and they were often found with, whenever they had a free preview weekend, they decided to make it on their time for what the free preview weekend was going to be. I remember fondly one weekend in particular. It was supposed to end at 11 p.m. that Sunday night. That would have been the entire 24 to 48 hour run for it. Technically, it started Friday night at 11, and it would have ended Sunday night at 11. That would have been 48 hours. Unfortunately, Disney, in their infinite wisdom, decided to cut it early. How early, you ask? 10, 9, 8? No, 7 o'clock on a Sunday night, right when one of my favorite shows was getting ready to start. One that only time I ever got to watch this was whenever Disney had a free preview weekend. That was Muppets Tonight. Yes, I liked Muppets Tonight. I actually have fond memories of that show. That's where I learned that song, Istanbul's Not Constantinople. You know, the thing from They Must Be Giants. I loved Muppets Tonight. What I didn't like was when Disney decided to pull the wool over my eyes and screw me to the wall. Then again, I wasn't the only one that ever got screwed by Disney. There were constant problems. Let's take a look at some of them, shall we? Courtesy of the Wikipedia, under Criticism and Controversies. Yes. There was a tremendous amount of these problems. Let's see. You had the live-action TV movies, and a lot of stuff that was destroyed because of that. Oh yeah, the decrease in animated programming and the increase in live-action shows. Now, I liked Even Stevens, but I was never a fan of Lizzie McGuire. But don't get me wrong, it's not as bad as when they had Hannah fucking Montana ruling the airwaves. I remember a freaking 3-episode crossover between Hannah Montana, the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and something else. And it was a 3-episode crossover. Why do you need to stroke yourselves that hard to do that? I never understood that. There was a tremendous amount of issues that shows got destroyed and banned. There's a thing going around on the internet for how much of it I believe is true or how much I know of it is true, I don't know. But there was a show on there called Good Luck Charlie. If some of you don't remember what that show was, let me give you a little rundown on it. There was a family, they had a baby, the baby's name was Charlie, and the eldest sister was making a video diary for Charlie. The series actually ended in a really nice way, but apparently there was an episode that caused a group of parents to get pissed off and send threatening letters to a 5-year-old. Now, how much of this I know is true, I don't know. If it is, that's horrible, and Disney let it happen. If it's not, then it's just a rumor on the internet. Still, it's something that I would believe because of how evil Disney is. Disney Channel in itself is one of those things that you have fond memories of it as a kid. It was one of the big 3 networks. I remember watching Cool Runnings on that for the first time in my life, and I loved it. I remember watching a lot of their original movies. I remember there was a movie called Susie Q with Amy Jo Johnson. I loved that movie. Brink was another movie that I enjoyed. I did not, however, enjoy the fucking Xenon Girl of the 21st Century Crapola trilogy movies. Yeah, we all should remember those, right? Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was one of those massive middle finger movies that literally should not have been made. Yeah, it shouldn't have been made. In fact, to me, every time somebody even says zoom, zoom, zoom 3 frickin' times in a row, I instantly think of that goddamn song. And then I curse their existence for the rest of the day. Literally, I've done it. But oh yes, it gets so much worse. Now, of course, there are other things that could possibly be wrong with this because Disney Channel has its sister network, Toon Disney, which was originally... Oh no, now it's Disney XD. It was originally Toon Disney, then it became Jetix when it actually was cool, and now it's Disney XD because they just want to try to make something seem extreme to them. Look, Toon Disney was good. I didn't mind when Disney got their hands on Doug. After watching it half a dozen times on Nickelodeon, I got bored with it quickly. When Disney got their hands on it, they made the series a little better. I won't lie, but it wasn't the world's greatest yet. But still, there was just, some things that were wrong and some things that should have never been. But, of course, where would I be in this what should never have been without mentioning a certain movie franchise? Which one could I be talking about, you ask? I don't know. It's one that starred Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale. Anybody know which one I'm talking about now? Oh, you don't yet? High School fucking Musical. Now, I will admit I watched the first one. Now, I liked the first one. Hell, I actually have the soundtrack for the first one because I liked it. That was what you call unique. That was originality. Seriously, that was actually pretty cool. A sequel, yeah, we the fans that liked it were saying, yeah, let's have a sequel. This sounded pretty cool. It wasn't a bad, no, it was pretty cool. Let's have a sequel. And the sequel sucked. Take a lesson from this, boys and girls. Not every movie deserves a sequel. Sometimes you just have to say no. But of course, they didn't just stop at a sequel. Oh, hell no. That would be too easy. No, let's go for a full-on trilogy. But instead of making the third one a made-for-TV only movie, you know, like the previous two were, no, this one we're going to give a massive budget to. We're going to stick some cabbage behind this one, and we're going to ride those Wildcats all the way straight into the theaters for a big theatrical release. High School Musical 3. You want to know what I'm still waiting for? High School Musical 4, where they go to college, and then High School Musical 5, where they all get jobs at Arby's. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see them busting a move in the Arby's singing about having roast beef sandwiches with your order. That's what I want to see. I want to see the cast of High School Musical decked out in Arby's gear, dancing around an Arby's restaurant. That's what I want to see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got Zac Efron will be the manager, and his probably will be wife at that point. Yeah, I know. She'll be the assistant manager. What was the bitch? What was Tisdale's character? Sharpay. She can be the fry cook. So can her brother. Yeah, no, that's what you need. You need to have the High School Musical where they're all dancing in an Arby's. That's what you call the moneymaker right there. And we don't even need to do much. Just go rent out an Arby's for a couple days and just have them dance around the restaurant. Just pay some people to come sit in the restaurant and eat roast beef sandwiches all day. It'd be the cheapest movie Disney would ever make in their lives. Oh my God, it'd be beautiful. But still, Disney's been an annoyance to me. Okay, mostly from their big-ass cinematic productions, which they never shut the hell up about. Every time you turn around, Disney's popping some new movie out of its ass. Oh, here, come see the Avengers movies, because we own Marvel now. Oh, God. Okay, let's go see the Avengers. My God! How many special effects can you throw in a movie? Now, granted, Age of Ultron was pretty cool, and I did like the parts that I saw for Infinity War, but then you had to spoil my entire fun with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you bastards. Why? We're killing Iron Man. No! Why kill off my favorite character, Disney? But of course, that's just Disney the company. I'm here bitching about Disney Channel the channel. Okay. How about the fact that Disney, actually on their Disney Channel, had a really cool programming block? I mean, this thing was really cool. It was like the late 90s, early 2000s, these little robots, creatures that surfed the net. It was amazingly cool. And the sad part was, it died off, just vanished. Like nothing ever happened. It disappeared like a fart in the wind. Disney had some interesting shows. You had the famous Jet Jackson, Even Stevens. I did not like Lizzie McGuire. You had, what was the one, Bug Juice or something? Yeah, no, it had some interesting shows, but it had a lot of suckers along with it, including those that it sucked into watching that crap. Oh, here, we think you're going to like this movie about a family that's somewhat dysfunctional. Hey, let's give them a movie while we're at it to really end the entire series on a movie. Really? You want to know what I remember about Even Stevens? I remember the musical episode of Even Stevens. That's what I remember about Even Stevens, was the musical episode. Because I liked the musical episode. In fact, I remember some of the songs for it. I can't sing any of them for you now, though, because of copyright claims. But still, you can pull them up on YouTube. Those were the good old days. Back when Disney actually gave a rat's ass. You know, when they weren't solely money-hungry bastards. Well, I mean, they were always money-hungry bastards, but they cared at the same time. Nowadays, it's basically, what can we throw on our channel and what can we kill off and make people miserable for? Hey, I know. How about when we don't like something, we'll take a page from Nickelodeon's handbook and basically throw it into what I like to call the Toon Disney Graveyard. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's where we send it over to our sister network where it dies. Why is that a bad thing, you asked? Oh, well, it's a bad thing because every time they make a good show, let's kill it by sending it over there. Anybody remember Phineas and Ferb? I remember Phineas and Ferb. I liked Phineas and Ferb. Of course, whatever I like has to end, right, Disney? Your Disney Channel is a shell of its former self. I loved the Disney Channel original movies. That was a unique thing. There was Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off that I remember watching with my mom. There was, what was that? Wish Upon a Star that I thought was pretty cool. I already mentioned Susie Q, Brink. There were so many of them that were unique. Hell, even Nickelodeon had some good made-for-TV movies. There was one about this group of kids that was basically pulling some leverage heist shit. Now, I'm not a big fan of heist movies, but at least that was pretty damn cool. But then you also had a movie where, what was it, Jerry Trainer plays some guy that's good at video games and basically falls in love with the best gamer's mom. And yeah, it was an interesting movie. I actually kind of liked that one. Thinking that I hated iCarly, what does that tell you? But still, I find irony in the fact that Disney Channel had uniqueness that it flushed down the toilet. I mean, Disney in itself is an evil corporation. Nobody can deny this. They bought Marvel. They bought Star Wars. Fucked up Star Wars by basically popping out 5 more movies to finish off a franchise. They weren't even done. And on top of that, then they also have The Mandalorian on their Disney Plus service. And then they bought Fox. Now, for those of you that are still thinking that Disney is a good, warm-hearted corporation, they bought Fox! For God's sake, they bought Fox! The Simpsons are now owned by Disney. The Simpsons, who have poked fun at Disney for years, are owned by Disney. They own Fox. They are destroying Fox. But sure, why not? What the hell? Disney owns everything. Hell, at this rate, Disney's soon gonna own the WB, and they'll own DC, and they'll own Cartoon Network, and they'll own Nickelodeon. We're gonna be coming to the point where we will be literally walking around with Mickey Mouse shoes, wearing a Mickey Mouse watch, using our Mickey Mouse smartphone, and driving in our Mickey Mouse car with the Mickey Mouse GPS. No, that's too easy. Because then that would mean we would actually get where we're going to go. No, Disney will screw us over. It'll be a Donald Duck GPS. We won't be able to understand it. It'll just be pissed off ranting for 24 seconds for every time you make a wrong turn. That's what it'll be. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you have a network that can compete on level with Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network at the same time, and you are literally looking at this like, how can we screw this up? You find a way to screw it up. I mean, they had a show in there called Boy Meets World. I remember watching this on ABC for TGIF. Oh, I love that show. Then they made a sequel spinoff called Girl Meets World, dealing with Corey Matthews' daughter. And that show was really good. When I still had cable, I would watch that every Friday night. And I'm not one to watch Disney Channel. It went downhill fast. But it's like, no, this is a good show. This is not a bad show. What does Disney do? Because I liked it, canceled. Of course. I mean, what other shows did Disney have that they gave the axe to? Yeah, Dave the Barbarian. That was a good show. Oh, I think that got axed. What was another one? 7D's a Disney show, or that's straight to Disney XD. You had so many shows that got just flat out destroyed. And don't even get me started on their sister network. I liked it when it was Jetix. When it was Jetix, it actually had some fucking useful levity to it. You could watch Power Rangers and not feel horrible. You could watch animated shows that they put out. I watched Oban Star Racers on that, for God's sake, and that was a beautiful show. I watched, it was this one about this kid who was living out his video game character. I can't think of what it was. Oh, God, there was that. I watched Max Steel on that. That was actually a really good version of Max Steel, too, by the way. Not the crap from a can that we had gotten years before. But then again, there was an animated show I watched when I was a kid on Fox called Action Man that was better than Max Steel. But you had so much potential. Your sister network pisses 90% of it away, and whatever you don't like on your main channel, it's like, here's the mothership. No, we don't want this anymore on the mothership. Send that over to the sister ship. The sister ship will take that off our hands for us. It'll be its problem, not ours. Then we, the fans, are left wondering why you sent it over there. I mean, Wander Over Yonder was a show that basically got a death sentence. And that show would have whooped ass and took names. But no, Disney didn't like it. It got sent to Disney XD. And then it died off. It just got no love, no attention. It's almost like Nickelodeon every time they send something over to Nicktoons. Who had Nicktoons as a cable network? Nobody! I sure as hell didn't! And then Cartoon Network and their Boomerang. Every single one of the big three has a sister network, and every single one of the sister networks has better programming than the main network does. But the problem is that they shove the sister network full of stuff that the main network doesn't want, and then they bombard you with the shit that's on the main network so you don't know what's on the sister network. Disney Channel is evil. It used to be really good. It used to be a unique place to enjoy yourself, to escape reality for a little bit, and you found some type of interesting show. Be it live action, animated, or what have you, you found an interesting show. Then it became nothing more than, we have to make money, money, money. We are going to shove Hannah Montana down your throats. I can't tell you how many times. I took a trip to New Jersey, okay? True story. True story here. I took a trip to New Jersey. It was the last time I had been to New Jersey since I was in second grade. Okay, I took this trip to New Jersey, and the whole time we're driving there, I'm like, hey, we can put Toon Disney on the, we can put Radio Disney on, because we're so close to where it's broadcasted from. You know, the signal was really strong. We could get, Radio Disney, no problem. Now, you can't get it now anymore. Now it's like, I think, an digital FM station. But I'm like, I used to listen to that. That was a really cool station. I mean, granted, I was too old to do any of the contests, and by the time I found it, it was, like, really weird to try to listen to an AM station. But it was cool. I liked it. And we're driving. I'm like, yeah, I haven't listened to this in a while, because we were picking nothing up from home, because most of the radio stations that we had programmed in the car were ones that were close to us, like around our general vicinity. We had nothing going into New Jersey, so I'm like, hey, what the hell? Let's try it. We might get lucky. Yeah, we got lucky, all right. We picked up some good stations. Now, granted, I could have put on the one oldie station that I know I can get up here, and that's far away from where it's broadcasted from, and there's a couple other ones, but I thought, let's try this. I remember listening the whole trip to their commercials about this Hannah Montana special. They would not stop shoving her down our throats. That was when they lost their audiences, when Disney Channel went to the tweens. There was once an anime reviewer on YouTube that said, let's take a look at what makes teens and tweens cream their jeans. Hey, guess what? As creepy as it sounds, he wasn't fucking wrong. Okay? Granted, it was taken out of context for him, and he did admit, yeah, that didn't sound right. But Disney probably looked at a similar line and thought, no, this actually sounds like an idea. Let's see what makes teens and tweens really excited. You had the Jonas Brothers. Anybody remember Hanson? I fucking remember Hanson. Why do I remember Hanson and I remember the Jonas Brothers? There was so much wrong with Disney Channel in the early to mid 2000s. They screwed themselves to the wall, big time. The minute they dropped what made them unique, the moment they lost that very essence that they had, they lost their audience forever. and they never realized it. You can make a sister network that has better programming. You can put your name on every single piece of open space from here to Pluto and back again. You could call an entire cosmos Disney. I don't care. It doesn't make up for the fact that you lost your audience because you cared more about what appealed to teens and tweens than what appealed to your main audience. What made them feel good inside. No, here it's cheesy laugh tracks, crappy plots, and superstars that even I, if I was a parent, would feel uncomfortable with my children listening to. Thank God I'm not a parent. But I felt uncomfortable listening to a Hannah Montana song. I feel uncomfortable whenever there's like a bunch of kids playing one, or I hear music starting up that's either Miley Cyrus or Hannah Montana. I feel weird inside. Like I should not be here. Like, this is no longer a place for me to come. Don't get me started on the horrors that Disney gave. They gave so much wonderful stuff to the world and pissed 90 to 95% of it away. They just got rid of a chunk of it because they didn't care anymore. Disney lost what made them unique. Now it's how much cash can we squeeze out of these people coming to our theme parks? How many crappy programs can we shove onto our station? And here's the kicker. How many of you think this is actually going to happen in the U.S.? Now, apparently, I have heard that overseas, the Disney Channel is no longer going to be. It's going to be purely Disney+. So you're going to have to subscribe to Disney Plus to watch anything that was on the Disney Channel. How many of you think it's going to happen here? No, it'll definitely happen here. Television's dead. Beyond a doubt, television's dead. The kicker is, Disney realizes this. So what are they going to do? Well, we already have a streaming service. Let's just shift everything from our channel onto that. And then charge them more. Disney is evil. Pure, unadulterated evil. They're like Google and Facebook. They're the unholy combination between the two of them. Yes, I've watched too much Dorkly, but still my point holds. They are an unholy abomination onto the world. It's an abomination that we, the fans, will always deal with. And that we, the people of the world, will always have to shudder to. However, I want to know what your thoughts are. What do you think? Was Disney Channel a good channel to watch stuff on back in the day and went down to hell faster than a handbag? Or is it still as good as it used to be? I'm curious what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been Andrew Rants.